So the Vesper Dine Drink Dance, I used to do overnights for someone who, for a man and woman, the man is dead now. A lot of people died, probably because of what happened in my case. And I don't know who's paying the price for what, but I wouldn't be bad in relation to me. But anyway, they lived on the 6th floor, like 601 or 602. I forget if it was 601 or 600, because sometimes the numbers run backwards than logically what you would think on the floor. But their balcony basically could look over this Vesper. A long time ago, I volunteered with something called the Youth Aid Panel, which is to help kids prevent the justice system by having them sit in front of, I guess, a quote-unquote, it's not really a jury, it's like a group, a panel is the word they would use, panel of peers, should they get in trouble in school. Like, they used to have a zero tolerance policy, so kids would get in trouble for bringing pot in, and they would get caught with pot or razor blades, or certain things were against the rules. And I did that for about a year and a half. So anyway, basically the idea was to give these kids a chance to avoid the court system altogether and not even have to walk through the doors of all that business. Like, just, we'll give you like assignments and stuff like that to complete, and there's a whole process they had to go through, but they avoided having to sit before a judge per se at such a young age, like before they're really an adult. And oftentimes, you know, these kids came from homes where it's not as fortunate for sure, and not very desirable. So I always wondered, like, how did they get up out of that? You know, how do they get up out of their neighborhoods and childhoods and families and stuff like that? But one of the judges I remember, Rebstock, for some reason I have him associated with Vesper. Right, there's like a little, you know, whatever. So I have no idea what actually goes on in there, but it seems to be more gentleman clubbish than female clubbish. Anyway, that's that. So the Vesper. And often people will confuse, you know, the word Vesper with Vespa. There's a Vespa, oh, there's those scooters, like Buddies or what have you. Those electric scooters. Out. I'm hoping it's not too windy tonight. I stayed in here 1515. It's considered, the 1515 Locust is the Chelsea. It doesn't say Chelsea on the outside. You would have to look it up and realize, like, oh, there's a unit for sale for, like, you know, $1.5 million in the Chelsea. I don't think they're really worth that much, but they do sell for that much. Sometimes people are part of an orchestrated system. You know, for 1.5 million, I better have a whole house, you know, and a driveway and like a pool and stuff. But, you know, they look at it like the city. If it were desirable to live on this block in the city, then I could see 1.5 million. But it isn't, because typically it's a drug-ridden section, especially with Dunkin' Donuts down here. It's the theater district, but, you know, how high level is Philadelphia's theater? And anyway, subpar at best. Anyway, 1.5 million or more for that. Now, some people are part of a special system, and you will always be shown the same properties. Like, you'll be rotated around in the same revenue system. You know what I mean? It's just like the black market has its own revenue system. You know what I mean? So in a way, you could be part of the Chelsea system. And you could luck out by buying that condo years ago for a lot less, and then selling it for like 3 times as much more than it's worth. That's what I was supposed to say. I do know I did overnights there, and I wouldn't pay 1.5 million for that unit. It's not worth that much. Or they puff up prices on Zillow and stuff like that. Inflate them to make people wonder or make them jealous or what have you. But no effing way is that worth 1.5 million. Well, a lot more than that.
Oh my god.
Alright, so we're out here on a, what, Thursday night in Philly, and it's chilly. So it felt a little bit colder yesterday because there was a lot of wind at night. I was on Broad Street. And it was very windy this morning. My fingers are freezing. So I'm carrying this umbrella, and there are certain populations of people in a lot of neighborhoods, and everybody signals and they want to know what everything means. What if it means nothing? Joke's on you.